Just a second, people. Setting stuff up. Is there something with my YouTube? Hold on, just a second. And there we go. Okay, it just took a while to get the live up and running. All right, everybody. We are going to be working on Penguin Springs, I think. I'll tell you all about the game jam a bit later. Yeah, they did. They did. I think you know, I've done I think this is my 4th game jam now. I mean the setup that they do in these game jams is you just either they'll do it like on location at some like you know, sort of like internet cafe vibes, so it's like a bunch of computers and you just load up the game on one of those computers. Or you bring your own laptop. In this case, it was like bring your own laptop. They have a bunch of tables. You set it up. People walk around. They're playing. And it was like, I don't know. It was like impossible for me to pitch. Yeah, it ran completely fine. It was impossible for me to pitch and explain to people sort of what they were about to experience. So like my introduction for people was basically, this is barely a game. This is a vibe. This is an experience. So put on those headphones, sit down, and just let it all soak in. That's what I told them. Because the first person that played it was running around, is like, what am I supposed to do? Where am I going? And they just wandered out into the desert. And it's like, I was like, it might have been a better idea if you went back and like listened to the NPCs and stuff, because they tell you a bit about the world. They're like, oh, okay, and they just keep walking out into the desert. So I was like, okay, I just need to completely change. Like, I need to pitch this game before they sit down so they know what they're stepping into, because this is not like a game, because there's no gameplay loop. It's barely functioning. It's all falling apart at the seams. But when I did that, I think people were into it. But the thing is, I didn't tell them it was multiplayer. So the funny thing was for me was that when people were done playing and another person sits down, I'm talking to them about the game, and you know, we're discussing like, whoa, yeah, what do you think, you know? And they're like, You know, they're like, oh yeah, you know, it was nice, and I was like, yeah, I mean, it's a bit laggy because it's all multiplayer. Like, multiplayer? Wait, so those people, the turtles walking around were players? And I was like, yeah, there's players. That's why they're lagging. And they're like, holy shit. And it was like every single person had that same reaction. They're like, what the? I don't think there's any single person ever who's done any game in a game jam in this group setting, you know, that we're in this specific group, has done it with networking. So that was like completely novel. They witnessed the piss formation around the campfire. They witnessed the piss tower on the monolith. And they were laughing, and I showed them the fan art. They laughed. It was a thing to behold for sure, and I think people just liked, you know, they're like standing down there and someone rams into them with like a motorbike, and it was like the chaos and the emotion, you know. Upside down TP. Yeah. That's the one on the monolith I was talking about, the P tower. It was quite iconic. I liked that. It felt like you guys were organized. It felt like you guys were doing your best to try to figure out who was like the tester, which was really nice. So yeah, I think all around a good experience. I think it's like, yeah, I've never done a game like this. Typically I'll do more traditional games with like a gameplay loop, and that's like, hello, a Moon X. You can ask me something, referee. Yeah, you were in a VC together, so that's, I mean, that's good though. That's good that you were like organizing like that. I think that definitely worked for the benefit of the game. But yeah, it was like, you know, sometimes the server would crash like mid-game, and I'd be walking in like, oh yeah, shit, the server crashed. They're like, server? What? So it's just, it's like yeah. So, but yeah, it's a non-traditional game because it didn't have the gameplay loop. It was more of a vibe, and I think, yeah, I noticed that instantly. I just, when you're giving people like, you know, 10 minutes or so to sit down and play a game, 5 to 10 minutes, you have to frame it somehow. And with that game, like, I couldn't figure out a way to frame it going in there, but after I saw the first person sit down and just be absolutely lost, I was like, okay, I have to lean into that and say, you're gonna play this game, you're gonna be confused, but it's all about the atmosphere, going around being a turtle, and people were just enjoying themselves riding around in the desert. Was there a game you liked there? I think the favorite one I had was this, I didn't get to play so many because I had to be so hands-on with my game and, like, you know, make sure it didn't fall apart, because it did many times, so I had to like stand and hover over people as they were playing it. But there was a guy next to me who had a game that was sort of like Papers, Please, but with like groceries. So people would show up with their groceries and show a shopping list, and you'd have to like say, oh, do you have these groceries in your shopping cart or not? And they were like trying to like cheat, you know, by saying like, oh, I have 2 burgers, when in reality they had 3 burgers in their shopping cart, and it's all like on a time. Hello, Shreyash. I like that one. And the idea was like the waves theme was that it's waves of customer, and you have to like make it through, and you can see like how far you can get. And there was one game that I played online. I didn't get to play it there, but I played it later. It's about like, so it's using splines or Bezier curves. So you can see how the roads are made. Because technically, I mean, these are like wave-ish. You see like these things here in game. So they're like wavy. And the guy made a game where it's like, you get a couple of points on the screen, and then you get three of these nodes, basically. And you have to make sure that the line crosses through all the points on the screen. It was like surprisingly enjoyable, kind of satisfying. there was I saw some guy made like you know, like the wave that you do in an audience, like a simulation of that. I just wish, yeah, because did you add post-processing? They look good. Post-processing to the roads, you mean, or what? Or on my stream setup, or was there a winner? So the voting ends on I think Sunday or something. But yeah, I'm not holding out for any wins coming my way, but mostly it's like I don't, you know, I don't even participate. Like I almost didn't want to participate last time because I won 2 times in a row. So this time I think I wanted to do something different, where it's like I don't, you know, I don't care. But last year I did the single player, like, yeah, last summer game jam I did this, yeah, the White Knight, Barn Orchestra White Knight. And that game, that, I mean, that was fairly polished as far as games go, you know, like there was no bugs. I could be hands off, you know, I let people play it, I walked away, and I could play all the other games. With this game, it was like falling apart at the seams. I just had to be there, standing right behind the computer. But I, you know, I've had scenarios where games were falling apart. Hello, Keshavox. Who gets to vote the winner? I think it's the community, but that's why I'm not asking you guys to go in there to vote, because I think, you know, in terms of like having a group of people who are ready and willing to vote, I think I'm the only one who could call someone to do that, which is why I don't want to engage that, because then it's just popularity contest. Can we play the older ones? Yeah, I mean, you can play. So I mean, the games I've submitted to these, Barn Orchestra is the first time I participated, which also won. Then I participated with the Rat Lounge, which was for Winter Game Jam. That one also won. And then I participated with Barn Orchestra White Knight, which also won. So it's like the 3 times I've participated in this game jam, I have won, and now I'm participating with Shell Riders. I got 2 comments from strangers that they're like, "This game doesn't work. I can't play the game." And I got this when I was asleep. So it was like during midnight or something, but the servers were obviously turned off. What are you going to do if Shell Rider actually wins, even if you weren't competing for it to win? Yeah, I don't know. I think this is like, for me, the game jams are like, when you're working on a game like Penguin Heist or whatever, you have like a 5-year project you're working on. You just get so bogged down, and it's like so much same stuff every single day. You show up, and with this kind of stuff, I just get an excuse to do something different for a short amount of time. And that's why I like doing these game jams. So it's never about like showing off, winning, or whatever. It's only strictly wanting to just do something different for 2 weeks. And I get the sort of end satisfaction of actually showing it off at the end. So those are like the 2 reasons I even do the game jams. But I think if you're going into learning game development, game jams are good as well. So it's like, there's a reason people are drawn to it, because it's like, you do 2 weeks of game development, and at the end of it, you have a functional game, hopefully, and people get to play it. So it's like the ultimate. The biggest problem game developers have is that they don't finish games, and game jams force you to actually finish the game, because at the end of it all, you have to actually show something off. And that's why I recommend participating in the physical game jams, because I don't think it's the same thing to participate in an online game jam. It's not at all the same thing. Tasty penguin I want to eat. Shreya, sorry I didn't answer there. Hello, Dax Tapende. How did you learn Unity and programming? So programming, partially I did computer science in university. for 5 years. I did a bachelor's and master's. So that comes with that. But Unity, it's just self-taught. You know, I watched a couple tutorials back when I started out, but then it's mostly just sort of, I'm just making games, and as I figure, you know, run into a problem, I look up, how do I search this specific problem?
This is Fernando Miguel. He is really good at dancing.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for learning to dodge and to follow. You know what I should do? I should integrate the pop-ups into the overlay. So it's rendering not just like on top of the screen, like with text, but like an actual penguin dancing on the desktop. Like Fernando Miguel comes out from behind the coffee cup and starts dancing, busting a move. How are you? I'm good. I'm good. How are you? Can Fernando dance on the TV? Yeah, he can jump up there and start busting a move on the TV. I mean, anything, as long as he doesn't bust a nut, I think that's, you know, acceptable, right? Okay, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here. Hello, Blue Wolf. Hi. I was doing some NPC AI work, watching tutorials. Nice. Hello, Blue Wolf. Sorry, I don't think I said hi there. Hazard's mountain biking. What is Teach to Dance? It speeds up Lard's dance moves. So if you guys spam it, eventually he's gonna be dancing at a like reasonable pace. And since you guys don't have anything else to spend your points on, it would be nice to see him actually like dance. I think it takes roughly probably like 500 redeems. If I think 500 redeems, and he will dance at like 1x speed. So, okay, so I think the set layer recursive, I think the thing is that they're all... By the way, can you help out with something? The NPC is sinking into the ground. Are you using Unity? The mobile, or it's a PC game. Game Jam went well. Game Jam went well. People were perplexed. Well, if they're sinking into the ground, it's probably you're using a rigid body or something, right? I'm assuming you're using like physics or something, or you're probably setting the position as they're moving around. Are you using the Unity nav mesh to make them walk around, or? Okay. Shit, okay, let's think. It's the road. Sidewalk. So here I have sidewalk modifier. This one's the road. This one's the sidewalk. When I do nav mesh, it isn't working. Have you baked the nav mesh? So like, I'm trying to get into game dev. Any tips? Start out small, make a small project, and work from there. So make like Pong, make Snake, some basic ass game that you think is going to be very easy, and then try to deal with those problems. Finish that game, and then move on to what else you think you're capable of. That's my recommendation. Start like insanely small. Okay. I think we can call this one. Story game for the win. Yes, for some reason the ground is not showing us blue. The only time it would show us blue is if you've toggled this, the toggle visibility of all gizmos. It's the top right there. Or you have this, like down here, there's the AI navigation. You see this little compass icon? You can click that. And then you can click surfaces and show nav mesh. So those are the ways that you can toggle like visibility of the nav mesh. Okay, I want to see the road material override. Sidewalk layer modifier, okay. I don't know, we'll call it like sidewalk manager or something. Sidewalk debugger, sidewalk manager,
Aaron GameDev TV said, lay aid, laid. Oh, laid, please dance laid. My life depends on your dancing moves.
Laid.
Stephanie said, I'm seeing dancing like two bears.
Oh shit. We got 3 large on the screen. Yeah. We love laid, lard. You know what I'm feeling? I'm feeling hat. I'm just gonna give myself one. I don't know if it's gonna work. Okay, it works. It just doesn't show up on the... Should I wear a bucket? I'm thinking bucket. Bucket is nice. Yeah, Neuter also, he and I, we share a bond because we both wear hats. The NPC isn't moving. So in order to make an NPC move, you need 2 things basically. You need the NPC, which is the nav mesh agent, right? So you need the nav mesh agent, which is the NPC, and then you need the nav mesh, which is the actual navigatable surface, which has been mapped out for the NPC, which can be done in many ways, but generally you use the built-in components. But those are the two things you need. And then for the nav mesh agent, you just do basically dot set destination. And when you do set destination for point P, if you do set destination, it should walk. It should compute the path and then it should walk there. Other than that, it would be if the nav mesh agent's speed is not set, if the nav mesh agent is not touching the surface, if it does not have like gravity turned on or something like that, if it has if it's like on a I don't know if like rigid body forces would like lock it in or something. Pixel Penguin, I love Pixel Penguin. But yeah, I mean, this should be it. And you have to like have enabled the fact that like it moves automatically. That has to be enabled, because otherwise you have to make it move yourself. I see how NPC works. Nice penguin, yet. Yet. Okay, let's see if we can get a little debug going here. Will join Penguin Cult. Thank you, skin-eating polar bear. Hello, nice bucket you got there. Thank you. Are you a game developer? Yes. Is it just me, or am I the only one not knowing what you're doing? Subbed. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, the sidewalk is there. But the thing is, we need to know, I think they should all be under the same, like they're all siblings. Bro, I might have a work for you. I already have a job, so this is my full-time job. I don't think I need I wonder how fast we can get Lard dancing. What's your real name? That other fish. Penguin Cult is actually a Linux user. I see. Right, because that's running an update. Listen, man, I need a game developer for a Souls-like game. If you can do that, then tell me. I cannot. I'm too busy. I have work of my own. I think that's not for me. I'm a game developer also. Yeah, there you go. Just a nobody. Hit up Skin Eating Polar Bear. Skin Eating Polar Bear will make your Souls-like. I've never seen him this fast. So siblings or siblings equals new list, I guess. Oops. A list of transforms. Officially out of points. Oh, sad. Oh, snap. I need a newt loan. Here to learn game dev? Alright. So siblings equals list for each in transform.parent var plan today. We're gonna work on the sidewalks, fix a bit more with the roamy NPCs, and then we'll see sort of where the day takes us. I mean, we've been on a high intensity workload for a while now, so we're trying to reel it back down a bit. Oh, we don't have to add a list there. If polar bear vanished, bruh. I mean, here's the thing, just a nobody. I don't think anyone's gonna work on your game unless you front some money. That's the thing, right? You can't get anyone working for you unless there's payment involved, and that's the whole cold hard truth. People don't work for free. Lard is at the China International Airport. Oh right, yeah, Lard. Fleshy. But thanks for the good luck wishes, and I wish good luck to you with your Souls-like as well. Love from India. Thank you, Rohit. And welcome back. The problem here isn't in the money, but in the payment. I do not have a Visa card or something. Yeah. Well, I think you need to get that sorted first. I mean, you can always route from a bank. But again, it's like, yeah, people just won't work for free. So either you learn the skill yourself and do it yourself, which is what I would recommend, or you get the money to be able to pay someone else to do it. Those are your two options. You're not going to convince anyone to work for free, sadly. Or not sadly, because I think, you know, people should be rewarded for their work. The eye blink of your penguin is synced with your eyes, or it happened randomly? Randomly. Does my oh yeah, I guess that one blinks. Then okay, cool. What are you doing? I'm working on my penguin game, so I'm coding. Okay, looks good. I think that should work. Roblox? No. Bro, how do you earn a living? Do you have a full-time job? Game development is my full-time job. Just do this. I need to figure out a way to like refresh these automatically. The price that's not like built in. Looks a bit like Roblox. Yeah, well, I mean, Roblox can look any way it wants to, you know? But it's not Roblox. I think if anything, it harkens back to like the OG Xbox and PlayStation 2 graphics. Maybe even 360 in more ways, probably, because of the high quality shadows and stuff. What is the script language? C#. Good post. How can I become a good Unity developer? Should I start by learning the basics of C#? Yes, 100%. Learn the basics of C#. You can do that in Unity, making a game. That's completely fine, but I would suggest make something small, something that you think is ridiculously simple. Do not start with something that is too large scope. Do not start making your dream game. Just make a game that's been done before, something old, reliable, and then you'll figure it out from there. You know, make a game, finish it, and then you'll see what happens. Thanks, Project Penguin. I'll take the advice and definitely make a Visa card, because making this game alone isn't an option for the game alone investment. Yeah, exactly. And then you're gonna need that budget, dude. If you have the money, people will follow. Game development for a company, or you work on your own project like an indie. Just me and my friend. That's we're the only ones working on this game. Yeah, no problem, average player. Okay, so let's check this out. Go into... Yeah, it's very drippy. I mean, the bucket may have a leak or two, which further reinforces that drip. Is it not? I mean, it is on that many sidewalks. Is it not being called? That's so cool, bro. It would be so awesome to flex and say to relatives that I make video games to earn money. You would think it's a flex, but I think if anything, it's met with confusion. Is it like on validate maybe? Script is loaded. Yeah, okay, maybe that's what I need. Had a lot of fun in Shell Riders. Yeah, I think you guys definitely made that presentation work. I think because my original plan was having like 2 laptops, right? Because then instantly you'd see, oh shit, it's multiplayer, you know, that's cool. But I'm glad that you guys came through when that didn't end up being the case. And I think you you performed. You weren't too you know, trolling, which was good. It was just good fun. People like the piss towers, and it was nice you stuck around for so long too, because the event was lasting for quite some while. Game development isn't just coding. How do you design assets, sound, character animations? Do you buy them or hire people? I do it all. The only thing I don't do myself is textures. I will generally get free texture assets, but models I make it myself. Animations, what have you. Sound. Sound I will use, actually, public domain sounds. I don't buy sounds, I don't think you generally have to. Public domain sounds are generally okay, and you can just sort of modify them to your need. This soundtrack is so dramatic, dude. Yeah, I make the music myself as well. It's the audio, the sound effects. So like gunshots, I won't go out and record my own gunshots, for example, but we make the music ourselves. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we can like... Wait, let's see here. for each child in transform parent, child.name is... If the name of the child is the same, then we continue. Yeah, because I mean, the thing is, though, like, how many roads are there? There aren't that many roads, so I think we should have, if we do the... sidewalk. We can do this. D.name. Layer. D.layer int. Yeah, I mean, there are 37 sidewalks with layer 0. And 37 roads. But coding, modeling, animation are all completely different fields, right? Don't you think doing anything all alone will actually take a lot of time into your mind? I mean, you have to be, sort of a master of everything, you know? If you're gonna ride solo. Are you wearing a costume? Yes, it's my corn costume. And it is difficult. I mean, you have to just sort of embrace the fact that that you will be in a constant state of learning new things. That's what game development is, right? You're never gonna be fully capable in anything. You're always learning, getting better. You're never going to be an expert in one thing. If you're doing solo or even like duo indie dev, you have to wear many masks. And those are also the kinds of people that like indie dev companies are looking for as well. If you're going to join an indie dev company, you're going to have to be an expert, or not an expert, but you're going to have to be able to learn and be good at many things. You can't just come in and say, I only do modeling, that's it. No, you're gonna have to be able to do like animation, maybe level design as well, maybe you'll have to do texturing, you know, whatever, you know? Maybe sound design as well. Like they need people to cover wide fields, otherwise you can't work on a small team, because there are so many parts to a game, so many parts. Yeah. I mean, I've learned Blender, I've learned coding. It takes time. Last time I was coding on Scratch. Yeah, I've never used Scratch. But it looks like a good environment to learn sort of concepts. But I would say that it's probably, you know, maybe even better to do it in a normal text-based environment. But maybe that's just my preference. Is onValidate called instantly as soon as you add the component? You penguins look pooky. Thank you, I'm pooky. Did you do any courses for coding? Can you recommend? I did not do a single course for coding. I went to university for computer science. I did that for 5 years, so bachelor's and master's, 3 and 2 years, each separate. That's where I learned the bulk of my coding, but it's not, you know, again, you can do computer science and you can still come out of it being a terrible coder, right? I think if you want to learn better coding practices, like corporate sort of, how would you call it? Enterprise coding. You'd do like a software engineer degree or something. Computer science is more like, are you interested in calculating things? Are you interested in problem solving? Then go computer science. That's the aspect I enjoy. I don't enjoy the sort of enterprise coding. I don't enjoy the idea of working for a big ass conglomerate company making, you know, code for them. I would say the best way to learn code is just have a personal project in mind and work on that. Saw you again. Welcome back, James, Mom. Update layer. I'm gonna try this. What are we making today? We're working on the sidewalks. But yeah, like have a small project in mind. Like you don't have to, you know, you don't have to make a game that you actually want to make. Make something small, something reasonable, and start there and see what happens. Finishing something and getting to the finish line is way more important than like dabbling around in whatever, you know, without any sort of direction. Yeah, make Flappy Bird. Heck, yeah, Flappy Bird, easy. In the Penguin GTA, well, yes, it's sidewalks we're working on right now. Then we'll see where the road takes us. No pun intended. Do a face reveal? I don't know, we might do a face reveal. I've been thinking about it. I don't get why it used to work, but now it's not. We'll do this, we'll do this. We'll make it like a smaller one just to like debug the shit out of it. Shit, why is it so... I think it's probably the granular voxel size. Oh, it's scanning both of them? That's why, okay. So I can't just, shit, okay. It's laggy, because I'm, doing the nav mesh calculations. I'll do this. I think I'll just set it to like 0.3 or something. Hello, Captain. Making a Penguin GTA. I'm trying to set the layer. Like, the layers are being set. Right, that's enough of the James lore. That's enough. Okay. So I mean, I am setting the... It's being updated, it's being added correctly. We can do layer int and then layer, which is also the dot game object dot layer. Yeah, see here, so the sidewalk is not setting its layer to any different. They're all still layer 31. Aha! Hey, I never thought of just scrolling through YouTube channels like this. I'm also just started developing the other night. A Next.js, I see. MMO. Yeah, I've never... I like multiplayer games, for sure. Never touched a Next.js, though. I always work in Unity. Like, on validate is not running. I don't enjoy ChatGPT. Reason being that I feel like it softens programming skills, and it's absolute travesty using it in large-scale projects that you're supposed to maintain for anything beyond like a week. So for those reasons, I prefer learning as opposed to offloading my learning to the ChatGPT. I don't know. I mean, I understand it's for like a portfolio, but I would be, if I was a recruiter, I'd be highly suspect of someone who made a portfolio project using AI. Like if we're talking like portfolio. Because when push comes to shove, at some point, you know, the AI is not always up to date with the knowledge required to solve a problem. And if you haven't been through the ringer, you know, do you have what it takes to actually solve the problems that you end up facing? That's what I, you know, question. It's not me passing judgment on you, but it's again, it's sort of like the AI landscape we live in today has sort of shifted the parameters around for what makes a competent programmer. It's not just about what your end results are. But now it's also like, you know, a show your work sort of situation. Me personally, if I was hiring, you know, if I ran a company, I would personally not hire someone who was using AI just on the basis that I do not know how much they did and how much the AI did. On that basis alone, I would not hire them. Yeah, and that help learn concepts way faster. I 100% agree that that's like the perfect realm for AI to be used. But what I've also noticed that when I've used it personally to explain concepts to me, concepts that I already sort of grasp but don't maybe understand the fine details of, it will get it so wrong. And it's like sometimes the details, you know, the devil is in the details, and that's where the AI can completely lose it and just completely screw over a project because, you know, the developer never bothered to sort of understand the fundamentals of what they were working with, so they can't even, you know, look at the details and see in what way the AI is wrong. Yeah, it can do it way faster, but again, it's also like it can do small projects way faster, but when it comes to like maintaining a large-scale project, which I have used ChatGPT to make a large-scale project, but it just falls apart at the seams. It just completely and absolutely falls apart at the seams with anything of any scale, right? It can help you like interface with APIs. It can help you make like individual components and scripts, but in terms of like architecturing a project, it's not going to do that for you, which I think is the key to some sort of large scale thing. I do think the end kind of justifies the means. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. And that, I mean, I think that's also why it's so tempting, right? As a programmer to want to use AI, but at the same time, I feel like you are sort of, by using AI, you're hampering your growth. And if it's the results you want, go for AI, you know, sure. But I think for me personally, I don't just do programming because I want end results. I do it also because I just like, I like learning things. I don't want to offload that experience to a robot. For me, there's joy to be had in learning new things and feeling competent. I take like pride in that. Like, I don't know. If someone has gotten all their knowledge from a large language model, you can't have a serious discussion with them because they don't fully grasp what they've learned. Like, they think they've learned it, but it's like an illusion. It's a mirage, I feel. You'll grasp the greater concepts, but again, like the details, that's where the interesting discussion happens. Yeah, and you have to, but that's the key though. You have to realize that it's misinterpreting things, or you have to realize that it's lying to you or hallucinating. And I think the further in we go and the more we ask of it, the more it hallucinates. And I mean, Apple, I've been showing this in like recent research, just like simple logical puzzles that would work completely simple, like for 10-year-olds. 10-year-olds could solve these puzzles, and the AI just completely falls apart when there's any sort of complexity introduced. So I don't know. I could yap about this all day. But I'm not anti-AI. I use it. I enjoy it. But I try to steer clear of it because I think it's like a bit of a Pandora's box as far as it goes for like programming. Kevin from Tim the Fat Man. Not familiar with him. Bro doesn't even see the comments, man. Hey dude, I'm preparing for Amazon machine learning engineer interview. Any suggestions? No clue. I haven't done a single job interview ever. I fell into this indie game dev thing, and I've been doing it, you know, ever since. I would despise having to go take a job interview at some enterprise
Blue
company.
Wolf Tie said, Imaginary Technic Ultimate Yapping. Sorry, Amanai, I'm not even angry over you right now. I bear no grudge against anyone. It's just that the world feels so wonderful right now. Throughout heaven and earth, I alone am the honored one. However, even in the Gojo clan, only a scant few know about this. Take the amplified and the reversal, then combine those two different expressions of infinity to create and push out imaginary mass. Imaginary technique, purple.
Yeah, I mean, I've used, for example, I remember I was making like, I was making an AI chatbot using ChatGPT, and I wanted to parse messages from a Discord, and I just had the AI whip up like the regex for grabbing the messages, because it's like at that moment I just couldn't be bothered. But that was, I mean, that's not a professional project in any sense of the word. It was just like a fun little thing I did. But like for those kinds of things where it's like, again, there are thousands and thousands of things you could learn, and maybe 100 things you should learn. And it's up to the sort of programmer discretion to make that trade-off, whether or not you want to learn something or you just want to get it done. But sometimes you will think you're getting shit done, but in reality, you've severely messed up. And I think like the AI, for example, will not be a replacement for like security. Making secure applications using AI is a nightmare, because again, security is absolutely 100% definitively in the details. And AI will, you do not want someone who's hallucinating to handle your security. Whether or not the person went into that much detail, I mean, it would be like any source going to a library. Someone could get the general idea, but it matters how much they go into the deep learning. Yeah, I mean, it's the space is so new that I think it's hard to definitively say what sort of effect it has, but I don't know. I'm just enjoying learning things, and that's sort of how I'm leaving it for now. Brandon is nerd here? Wow, rude. Art with Pro AJ. Yeah, it's still only assigning it to do one of the road meshes. Dude, there are 23 people here. Yeah, I guess. Welcome, 23 people. Attack on Titan's goated. Never seen it. Haven't watched any manga. Yeah, I go back and forth from the like, hey, can you build me the page? It's going to do this from my API and show me this information. And on the other side, it's like, hey, can you give me a lot of details? Yeah. Yeah, I think for like interfacing with APIs, it's generally okay. But like, I find that, so one example where it completely falls apart. Okay, so I'm working with Photon Fusion, which is a, you know, a networking library, came out like a year ago or something. I've asked the AI questions about it, and it seems to have absolutely no clue about it. But it acts as if it has 100% a clue about it. And if you're a beginner and you're trying to make sense of this new networking library and you're trying to use the AI to do it for you, it's not going to help you. And because, you know, because you've overused the AI, you've brain rotted your skills of being able to like read documentation in the first place. And what do you do then? Well, I don't know. You just give up, I guess. Because the AI is not going to help you at that point. So I think that's like part of the sort of rigor that AI sort of removes. Is Unity better than Godot? No clue. I haven't used Godot. But wait, let's see here. Because I mean, it's road object is 37 road objects and 37 sidewalks. But it's strange because I mean, 1, 2, 3. Because this, I mean, this would be separate road objects, but this one is not. Yeah, go to bed, dude. Enjoy. We need to print this shit out. If you think, then yeah, you can say Unity is better. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to... I think whichever engine gets you to the results that you desire is the best engine. Yeah, but also one more thing, Brandon, which is also something what makes me wary of AI is the fact that AI as it stands is severely subsidized, right? By these companies who are trying to gather up users. We are not even close to the enshittification. And once those like real costs for AI start appearing, I think people are gonna look at AI in a completely different way. Unity is free, Godot is free. It's strange that I'd like to see the sort of file structure under these roads, but it's just not showing them. I mean, I would say that, you know, all right. Yeah, I'm only 26 myself, so. Like, It's strange, because I mean now it's even like setting the layers incorrectly almost. I mean, it was working earlier. I don't know. The gray would be the road. Maybe when we do this, I'll just try to do the update later. I've been using, I've been using it a couple now. I mean, I don't know what delay you're having, but even when it looks online, it still misinterprets things. And it looks at like old forum posts and it does like really weird it makes really weird conclusions from like incomplete data. Like the hallucination is off the charts for like new data. Photon fusion. But again, it's like it understands the greater concepts perfectly fine, but it will absolutely 100% definitively lie about the details. And that's where the crux is when it comes to multiplayer, because you're optimizing for like bits and bytes, right? That's what you're optimizing for, and it just won't help you with that. It won't take you that extra distance that you need to go. How is this penguin effect possible? Camera. What's the delay on the YouTube chat? Can you guys check? Because it seems like you guys are very far behind, or maybe it's only some of you. When you guys send a message, how long does it take for it to show up in the chat window on the stream? I wonder, like here, I think I'm doing rasterized colliders. Well, we can just rasterize meshes. There we go. Genius. I did it. Look at those sidewalks, cleanly separated. So now the sidewalks are a separate layer. And I'll just have to do the same for these meshes as well. Holy base. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, but we'll have it at like 0.2. I think that granularity is probably fine. Have you ever made a 2D game? I made a 2D game engine back in like 2017 or 18 or something. That was kind of fun. Hello, Saunders University Airlift Division. Okay, but if I scan and save this, we'll just generate cache. Can someone in YouTube chat send a message and just see how many seconds it takes for it to be delivered? Like, what is there a delay going on right now that I'm not aware of? I don't know. I'll do it myself. I'll do it myself. Right, how do I... Here. Okay, that was like shorter than that. Okay, I mean, it's pretty okay. It's not the worst. What was that technology? It was Photon Fusion, which is a multiplayer networking library made by Photon. But it's like, it has a completely fine picture of it, right? It has the overarching picture, but when it comes to any of the details, it gets absolutely lost. It was showing me forum posts that were like over a year old, and that was like, when it sources and searches things on the internet, the sources it picks are absolutely like super weird. And this was like a week ago I was asking about this. When developing a game, do you need a lot of storage on your computer? Depends on what game you're making, but generally yes, you'd want to have some good amount of storage. But it was giving me like these old forum posts with people discussing basically unrelated concepts, just like mentioning the search phrase once, and then from that it was making like conclusions that were just absolutely wrong. And it kept doing that so much that I was like, there's absolutely no point asking ChatGPT about this specific library because it just gets too lost. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I don't even know if they can solve for, which is hallucination. Because again, I mean, and that was another paper, right, where they showed how willingly AIs will willingly hallucinate the wrong answer and fudge their answers to be right. Because it's more important to be right than to be truthful. Right? That's sort of what the AI is optimized for. Providing satisfying answers is more important than providing correct and truthful answers. And it gets even worse if you give them a motive to do so, like beyond the actual training itself of the AI. But like, you know, they did this thing where they told the AI that it would be like shut down and replaced, and the AI showed signs of like self-preservation, which is absolutely insane, where it would like lie about being like smarter than it was or something. I agree there. Like today I asked something, basically just answer my question how it thought it would be, and then I found completely conflict. Yeah, and that happens far too frequently for me to be able to use it like efficiently. And I could use it like, you know, if I'm like, oh, I want to step into this new realm of something, I could say, hey, could you explain this like large concept and maybe give me like some pointers about like things I should look more into? Okay, cool. And then yeah, tell me about those things as well. Okay, cool. But it's really dangerous, really dangerous to ask it about specifics when it will flat out lie to you. And especially when it comes to like optimizing something, right? All these Next.js projects I've seen online, that people are like vibe coding, as they call it. They're, first of all, they're horribly optimized. Like, they run like garbage, you know, like, you know, 30 FPS or whatever. They look like trash. And then they're buggy as shit. And they're all very, very small scope. Like, none of them are like, none of them are large scope. Because again, anyone will tell you that when you're working on a large scope project with AI, it just falls apart. It just loses track of things. You can copy and paste in a script and it spits out the same script, but it's removed like key methods and key variables just because, I don't know, it just does. And if you're not like going over every line, all of a sudden it breaks like key functionality. Without you knowing it. So it could, like, let's say you have a script that's, you know, a couple 100 of lines, and you paste it into the chat GPT and you say, like, hey, this method here is running quite slowly, can you optimize it? It's like, fine, I'll do that. It optimizes it, and you're like, oh yeah, great, it runs perfectly. But what you didn't see was that it also removed this like key method you had there that was like ensuring the security of whatever, you know, piece of code was running there. So now it's also running like unsafe, and now it's like an attack vector all of a sudden. And those are the things that it's like really dangerous to work with, and I just wouldn't want someone who does that stuff working for me. And all too often that's what happens. But I kind of feel like that would happen with anybody teaching you. They may not know the right information. That is true in a sense, but most people will not flat out lie to you. They will say when they don't know. The AI is not trained to say, I don't know. It just never does. It assumes expertise every single chance given. That's the key problem of hallucination, right? It assumes expertise. Which is beyond problematic. Like a good faith discussion with any sort of person, they will be like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't know about this thing. I'm not sure why they're walking underground. I think there's probably like coal underground. They're probably generating the terrain underground, but I don't think I've set up the weights either for the costs for the areas. I can understand my code, but I can't understand people's spaghetti code. I think everyone writes spaghetti code in one way or another. The first draft of any project is going to be spaghetti, and you're going to have to clean up and fix things. And it'll tell me because it's too long, and then if something breaks, I can see that, and I can understand it taking out something, it's still working. Yeah, but that's the thing, like, it could silently take something out. So you paste in a script, a couple hundred lines long, you're trying to fix one method, right? It fixes the method for you, and because you see it's working, you're like, okay, great. Fast forward a month, you're still working on the same project, and all of a sudden you notice that silently this thing it took out months ago is now breaking your project, but you don't even know where the error is coming from, right? Because it's been so long and it just silently took it out for you. And that's what's so sneaky about the AIs, is they'll just do things without telling you how, because I mean, it's the black box thing, right? And they'll just make these sweeping changes that you don't even notice sometimes, because not all errors are like red output in the console, right? Many errors are these sort of nefarious hidden errors that result in, like, I don't know, spontaneous memory leaks or like security vulnerabilities and stuff like that. the first person that taught me was basically wrong about a lot of stuff that they were doing. Yeah, I mean, that's completely fine. And I think a lot of people are like opinionated, but in general, you consume, I would say 90% of the cases in a good faith conversation with an expert in their field, they will generally not try to lie to you, and AI will lie to you. That's the difference, right? An AI is guaranteed to lie to you. A person is generally trying their best not to lie to you. But the AI is incentivized. You need a beefy computer to make a game? No, you do not. Just make a game that's not beefy. The game you're making decides how beefy of a computer you need. If you're making the next Call of Duty, then maybe, yeah, you need a beefy computer. But otherwise, you're probably good. Yeah, I think shortly put, I'm just as much of an AI optimist as I am an AI skeptic. I exist in both spaces. I don't write off AI, but I think that models are mostly getting worse, but they're still getting better at beating tests. But in my experience, they are like at the point we're at now. I don't even see that happening. I mean, I wouldn't know my code that I'm putting in. I guess I don't know how to use it. I think people use it in the worst way. Well, so like look at the 3JS example, right? People put up those games and they don't even have the most basic of security features, which is looking out for like remote code execution by like, for example, setting their character name, right? And that's like the most fundamental thing that you should learn to look out for when you're making like an online based game in a browser environment. Is maybe, you know, look out for people being able to remotely run like scripts on your server. And people can just easily do that because these projects are like hodgepodge together by an AI. And again, the silent nefarious errors are the ones to look out for. It's not the ones that spit out red in the consoles. Those are the ones that you like. They give an error log. They say what's wrong. The silent ones are the ones that you can't debug for in the same way. And those are the risks. And you can't, you know, I mean, in your case, if you're building a portfolio, you know, sure, whatever. But if you're making like a commercial product, it can come back and bite you in the ass. And who's to blame at that point? Let's see. Yeah, but again, it's like my point being sort of that you think you don't have any problems, but it's that false sense of security combined with the fact that these AIs hallucinate that can lead to sort of these massive problems down the road, and then also the lack of like trading away expertise for productivity. I think those two things combined are like a cocktail for disaster. Again, you won't notice that working on small scale projects, but anything remotely large scale, long term, you'll start to see it. I mean, if AI truly was as revolutionary as it is, you know, proposed to be, I think we would have seen like a new dawn of these like amazing AI produced games, but we just haven't seen that yet. And I don't think that any of these 3JS projects, which are more like playthings, have done anything to like impress me personally. JSON. Right. Penalties. Right. Rings. All right, but I would assume if I didn't tell it to look out for the security things, then it shouldn't. But that's the thing, like, a seasoned programmer would look out for the security things. A seasoned programmer would do that. But the AI, you know, just like a calculator, it only does what you tell it to, right? But it's in that it instills the false confidence because you see things work and you assume that everything's working. Well, then that's all there is to it. And that's where the false sense of security point is. Navigating under the mesh? It shouldn't. Has a version specifically for coding? Yeah, the 04 mini high or something, whatever happy naming schedule they have. No, but I mean, just as many things that I could say like negatively about AI, I can say positive. It's just, you know, I have to act the contrarian when I do get a lot of people coming into chat like hyping up AI. So I feel like, you know, in especially in the sort of, because it's a lot of people who come in who are like, you know, they're thinking about like becoming game developers and stuff, and I have to like give them a bit of a reality check that, you know, you're probably not gonna get super far if your entire project is based on the knowledge that an AI will provide you with. Yeah, it's strange. Because they are, like, falling through the... I guess it's that the road doesn't have the... Wait, window... Yeah, and it's like for boilerplate, sure, but I think also one thing, and part of why I'm, you know, wary of using it is that, even boilerplate has some value to being, like, surprising as it is, there is value in coding the boilerplate as well, because I think, you know, it's a use it or lose it situation. So. Player. Yeah, okay. Character. Geometry. Wait, but then the... I need to see here. They're tagged road, aren't they? Or are they tagged default? The roads are tagged road. Yeah, except for when it does do the extra things that you don't ask it for. Like, that's the thing also, like... I feel like it can over-architecture a simple script. In very strange ways. And one thing I have noticed is that it does, like, these insane null reference checks when you're asking for, like, game code. It will do absolutely insane, batshit crazy null reference checks, which makes the program, like I said, fail silently because it prioritizes writing code without errors. Which in like web development, like the average web developer will have their you know, the try catch shit. But here it does the try catch and it doesn't even spit errors. It just does like silent null reference checks and then it's like, oh, well, this thing is null. Okay, just ignore that and continue. When it's like, well, no, I want it to shit out an error when it's null because it's not supposed to be null there. So it does all that kind of weird stuff as well. Which again is like, it has these very strange coding habits that are very over-engineered and I don't know what it's trying to like optimize for other than like no errors, but it's strange. Hello, B. See, it's tag 1. And road, I guess. Yeah. But again, it's sort of like, even if it generate a single method, it could still do that, you know? Very strange way of coding. And I'm not speaking like, I think as an experienced developer, it's up to you to make sort of the decisions whether or not you want to use it or not. But you have to keep in mind that the people who are going in using AI these days are not necessarily just the experienced developer. It's the happy amateur who just wants a quick solution to make their software work. And who are maybe not necessarily willing to learn anything and will happily trade this knowledge that they could have possibly earned for the speed and efficiency that the AI will provide them. And we don't know yet what sort of impact that is going to have on the sort of juniors of the future, right? Like juniors turn into seniors, and what are the juniors going to be? Parsers. Parsers is like decoding a structured file. So you'd parse a file in the sense that you would check to see, like, given a structure, you'd parse that structure for data. Yeah, I mean, I'm not an AI power user, and I don't see myself becoming an AI power user unless there's like a reason for me to. But again, and also in game development, it's like the majority of work is not related to coding. I mean, it's gameplay design, it's level design, it's solving for these weird, niche, obscure errors. And most of the time, I mean, I go to ChatGPT like at least once, twice, thrice a week or something to ask it about these obscure errors I get, and in 99% of the time, it just, you know, turns up dry, and that's just the nature of the game, you know. You're working with new technology, you're doing obscure shit, and the AI just doesn't know anything any more than the average person. And at that point, you just have to learn problem solving yourself. It works fine if you're working with established technologies. But again, my experience being asking it about sort of niche topics, new technologies, is just not bad. And oh, so frequently. So asking it about Unity, I couldn't tell you the amount of times it hallucinates, like, oh yeah, go into tools, click Fusion, and click Weaver debug to verbose. And it's like, okay, oh, there is no debug verbose. Oh, right, yeah, it's in this menu. Okay, yeah, I click there. No, it's not there either. Okay, yeah, click over there. And it gives me this wild goose chase trying to track down this menu that doesn't even exist. Converts exactly into code. Yeah, I mean, Unity is written in scripts. Unreal is written in nodes. I mean, unless you're doing C++ code. I don't think most people, I think they say use the blueprints. And yeah, but I'm saying is like, it's easy to make a functional working MMO. Like, that's easy. We're talking about like legacy code, monolith projects that have been like lasting for years, and working with those, working with AI on those kinds of projects just doesn't end up working. I've tried it on this game, I've tried it on other games that I've been working on for multiple years, and it just doesn't end up doing what you want it to do. I don't know, it's my personal experience, right? It's my personal experience that the AI has not been very helpful to me. I used it, the only time I was impressed by it, I was tinkering it. That was like when ChatGPT 3 was a thing. I had it write me the trajectory, rendering the trajectory of thrown items with like a line renderer. Whenever you notice these problems or inconsistencies, do you ever update your context till the... Yeah. But I mean, the AI has this ability to just completely ignore instructions, even with an updated context. Because it loses the plot. I mean, simply put, it just loses the plot. And I can say you're wrong, you're lying, you're hallucinating, it just doesn't care. I'm just not very impressed by it. That's all. And that's as someone who's working with this professionally. Like, every day I show up and I check in with the AI occasionally, and just doesn't help me in the way that it seems to be helping other people. But maybe that's just because of the way I work, or the kind of stuff I work with, or some other reason. But it will all too often hallucinate. And I tried using the voice chat. And I was debating, like, talking to it about, like, data-oriented programming or something. And it was just, I don't know, it just gives you such, like, milquetoast answers. Because, again, I mean, it's working with averages, right? And it's so uninteresting, the things. It doesn't provide you with any valuable insights on those topics, I feel. But also, like, kind of... You might have expected that it would provide you with something. on those like hardcore tech topics, but no. Running out of memory here.